So you will be changing the text, and you might be, well, you will be changing the person or people who made the text. Okay, so.
We're in Regent Park in one of the highest needs school in the entire Toronto District School Board. And there are incredible opportunities in this community, but the reality is many of our children are entering into school without a very high level of readiness, at least to begin their learning journey. And so our kids are entering into school with a gap in their preparedness, and Helen has been incredible in shrinking that gap through intentional focus work to build the literacy skills of kids to ensure that when they leave her care, they're well on their way to reading.
I actually remember my very first lesson there. It was just like, she organized a conference at the school, and it was basically run by Girls Crack the Code. And she hired a person named Desi, so as I said, the computer programmer, and basically she taught us how to do programming in Ruby language. And basically, yeah, that was the first time I started coding, and it's been good from there on.
The thing I think that's so interesting about Helen getting involved in technology and really encouraging girls to do it is that it's technology and working with computers has not been Helen's, like it wasn't as though Helen was,
it wasn't her strength.
It wasn't her strength, right? So she sort of, I mean, just the fact that she has been able to just open these doors for kids while she herself is learning is so inspiring. It's like, okay, you know, it's sort of encouraging that at any point in your life you can continue to learn new things.
I'm just finishing my 40th year of teaching. I've taught almost every grade from primary to junior, as well as working in the library and working for a number of years as a literacy coach. The last 2 years, I've been a reading teacher, working one-to-one with struggling readers. I always need to consider that students arrive with different life experiences, different interests, different talents. You need to work to create experiences that encourage children to be in control of their learning and a classroom where the students are the spotlight.
I think it's really important to recognize excellence. I think the work that Helen has done can serve as an inspiration to other staff on what can happen when we have high expectations for children.
I think the key to ensuring that each child meets his full potential is thinking of the classroom as a community of learners. I think the teacher has to show students how to help one another and celebrate that kind of collaboration.
There's that whole idea that, you know, what would you do for free? Like, and I think Helen is a teacher. She can't help it. You know, that's just who she is, and she's passionate about it, and she just can't not teach.
Earning the trust of parents and students, finding that a true community school connection leads to better learning, walking through the community with your students to show them the value of places and people in their own community, taking them to places that they've never been to and watching the excitement on their faces, watching a student work hard on something, especially when she was convinced that it was impossible, fills me with joy. And seeing students using their agency that I've tried hard to help them develop to advocate for themselves, their families, and their community is more than wonderful. And of course, the icing on the cake is that the award comes from teachers, the community that I'm so proud to belong to.